Good morning and welcome to Warrior Wisdom Wednesday on Coffee with Alain. Appreciate everybody joins, comments, listens to replays, watch replays, podcast, wherever you're listening to it. Thank you to everybody. Be sure to sign up at enjoylifesafely.com for that newsletter. Goes out every weekend. Great tips on staying safe, self-defense, enjoying life, living with a warrior's edge, and being exceptional. Sign up, enjoylifesafely.com. You know, we've had some sad days lately for some celebrities passing away. Yesterday, Val Kilmer passed away at 65. His portrayal of Doc Holliday was phenomenal. Wish he would have won the Oscar. Many people think he should have. And he was in a whole bunch of other great films as well. But Doc Holliday character was probably my favorite of his, even though I enjoyed him in so many of his films. And we lost him at 65. So rest in peace, Val Kilmer. Oh, did want to put that out there today. Good morning, Jay. Good morning, Vicky. Appreciate you being here and saying hello. So today I wanted to talk about this quote that I posted earlier on social media. True martial artists forge their character alongside their skills. For without honor and discipline, they are merely fighters. With them, they become true warriors. Long time ago, when I was just getting started teaching, because there were no other Hapkido people here where I was at. So my instructors in Korea said, teach. My instructor in America said, teach. You'll get better. You'll keep your skills sharp and teaching will help you improve. But Dennis Dallas, my American instructor, one of the things he told me that if you're not teaching character development, if you're not helping students become good people, you're missing out on a lot of what martial arts can provide. And I believe that. And that's why I talk so much about that topic and write about that topic, because that is what makes a true martial artist. Anyone can learn to fight. If you become a martial artist, you're learning more than just those physical skills. And we practice things in the martial arts that won't necessarily relate directly to self-defense or fighting, but they have other purposes, other benefits. And part of that should be character development, learning discipline, learning perseverance, learning how to attain a goal. I mean, that's what belts are. Belts aren't to compare yourself with others or something to collect from your buddies and friends because you have an organization, they have an organization, so you swap belts, which people do. Belts are something to reach for your own personal development, and that you know what you did to achieve that belt. And it should mean something to you if you worked for it and if you earned it. It doesn't matter to anyone else. And you can't relate a belt from this organization to this organization because they're going to have different standards. And who cares? It's only important to the individual who worked and earned it. If it was just given or it wasn't earned, then it's nothing different from a belt you go buy at TJ Maxx or JC Penney's, like Mr. Miyagi, right? The true martial arts are in here, not on your belt. And part of that is character development and the different character traits that you develop as you were learning martial arts. Sometimes it's patience. Sometimes it's discipline. Sometimes it's determination. I mean, there are a lot of different things that go in there, and instructors will bring that out of their students. And that's what helps somebody become a martial artist and not just a fighter. And so there is a difference. And I think that's what brings us warriors. You know, I'm drinking out of this cup today, Korean martial art festival. Brain fart right there. But a lot of excellent martial artists and excellent people on that cup. You know, Dixon's here, and Dixon's on that cup, and a bunch of other good friends. I'm going to get to see a bunch of them next week. I'm excited to be able to see them. I'll be teaching again next week at the Korean Martial Art Festival. We'll broadcast a couple Coffee with Alain live from there, and maybe have a guest or two. You know, the last couple of years I've had Dan Severn here on Coffee with Alain. Maybe have him again. Dixon's been on Coffee with Alain. Mike Munyon's been on Coffee with Alain while I'm down there, so we'll see what happens this year. Do want to say good morning to Richard. Appreciate you being here, Richard. Jay said, darn right. And Thad said, good morning. Rest in peace. Thank you, Thad, for being here. Dixon said, don't forget, he was also Batman. Yes, Dixon. I mean, he was Batman. He was Doc Holliday. I mean, he was the Iceman in Top Gun. I mean, and he just had a lot of great things. I mean, he was a great actor. He did some good stuff. But Doc Holliday has to be my favorite. But phenomenal actor. It's sad that he had the health problems. I was glad that he got to return to Top Gun, the sequel, you know, Maverick, and got to be in there because he was so important in that first movie. It was great to see him in the sequel, and they were able to get him in there even with the health problems. And, you know, it's sad that, you know, he had those health problems and we lost him early. Dixon also mentioned Simon Templar, The Saint. That was one of my wife's favorite movies of his. When we first met back in the 90s, that was one of the movies that she really liked with Val Kilmer, you know, based on the old TV series with Roger Moore and stuff. But he did a great job as Simon Templar as well. So thanks for bringing that one up, Dixon. That's what I wanted to share today. For all the martial artists out there, learning to develop the character. If you're an instructor, you should be developing the character within your students. If you are a student of martial arts, remember that the development of the character and those different traits is just as important, if not more important, than the physical skills you're learning to be a complete martial artist. And before I go, I want to tell folks, Mark McYoung will be here Friday. So show up Friday morning. Going to have special guest Mark McYoung talking about safety and self-defense. He's written a whole gob of books. It started way back in the 1980s when I read his first book. We became friends in the early 90s, have been friends since then. He wrote the foreword for my first book with Paladin Press. And he's been on before, but it's going to be great to have Mark on again and just talking about some different stuff on Friday. So you won't want to miss that one. Go out, make it a Warrior Wisdom Wednesday, and I'll see you tomorrow.